What is up, survivors? We're back for another mod review. In today's mod review, we're going to be talking about the Lancar mod. This is a simple equipment mod, but it's actually really cool, really ingenious. I really like the way this one works so far. Let's get right into it. So really what's going to happen is you're going to craft everything that we're going to go over off of this suspicious nightstand, right? So that's what this is called. It's called a nightstand. You'll craft it on your person. Here we go. Let's find it. Just right here. You will need fiber, thatch, and wood to craft it. Check our engrams to see when it is unlocked. It's unlocked at level 25. Again, crafts it on your person. So all this stuff gets crafted on your person. What this mod's going to do is just boost the current weapons, demolition, and a few other equipment pieces that you currently use. And nothing I would say too crazy. So right off the get-go, what you'll need to craft most of these things is the original version of it. So again, like for instance, when we're looking at this enhanced cluster grenade, we really just need a regular cluster grenade, put it over, and it's a 1-for-1 transfer. There are things like the whip that you'll actually need things to, the materials to craft it. We get into the gunner shades and things like that too. You'll be able to craft those, but you'll need the actual resources. But a lot of these things, you just need its counterpart. You throw it in here, bam, you're done. Now, one thing to note, when you see the weapon attachments in here, the scope, the flashlight, the laser sight, the hollow sight, these pretty much work exactly like they worked before. The reason why they're there is because we're dealing with modded weapons. These modded attachments need to be able to fit on there. But we're going to go through everything that's in here and play around with it for a little bit. So let's start off with the pistol. The pistol goes from a 13-round magazine to an 18-round magazine. Now, damage looks like it's slightly upped as well. Instead of like a stock 50, I think it's at 71. So the damage on these things does go up a little bit. As you can see, I've been test firing some things out here. You get a bit more damage. The action seems to play differently too. I'd actually like to spawn a regular pistol in to see the exact difference, but it seems like the recoil on this one. The other ones, it seemed pretty obvious, but this one definitely, it feels a little bit different. So the damage is a little bit lower, obviously, so we're getting a little bit more damage out of it, but as we can see, there's more of a realist. I think there's more kick out of this one, and then you're getting more rounds, but then you're getting a tad bit more damage as well. And that is the pistol. Moving on down, we're down to the fabricated assault rifle. This increases the rate of fire, so you're going to get a faster rate of fire. But if you notice, this does not jump around, and I got a hollow sight on this one. It doesn't jump around nearly as much as the original AR did. And what we'll do is get the regular assault rifle in here. Where's it at? Right here. And put this guy right next to it so you can see the difference here. So let's load this guy up. And just for sake of argument, let's, as you can see, even this thing quickly ends up all over the place. Even on a hip fire, it takes a lot more to get to that point. So the recoil is definitely modified, it looks like a little bit. The base damage went up by about 3 points, but that's really about it as well. But then also the firing speed picked up a bit as well. And as you can see, it's pretty effective. Next up, we got the fabricated sniper rifle. Now the damage on this one has been exponentially increased, like it's almost double damage than what the standard sniper rifle is. Which, honestly, I kind of liked. I felt like this one kind of got gypped, especially because the durability isn't so great on these guys. But as you can see, the damage is a lot higher. I mean, obviously, it's a headshot. That's why it was so much damage. But typically, you're looking at a little over 300 damage with these guys. Magazine goes from an 8-round to a 10-round, so you get a little bit more. And the durability is increased as well. This one I really like because I really hated the horrible durability that was on the current fabricated sniper rifle. I just, it almost made it until you had a better quality one, it almost made it useless to try to use. All right, tech rifle. This guy's pretty easy, right? This increased the speed. So the speed at which the rounds fire out, if you notice, are a lot faster. Excuse me, Maywang, you got in my way. I feel like horrible out here just executing everything. But hey, listen, we got to science this stuff, right? It's not going to do it on itself. The spread, obviously, I don't think the recoil got changed on this one. It's still a little all over the place, but honestly, I kind of feel like this should be. If this thing was shooting like a laser, it'd be pretty unstoppable. You get more ammo per magazine before it's going to overheat on you. Increased rate of fire, lower durability, a lower durability drain. So all in all, everything got a little bit better. But a lot of times what I'm noticing with these guns is they didn't get exponentially. It's just a little bit, unless you're talking about the durability, which kind of helps out, honestly. Moving over, we got the compound bow. So the compound bow actually changed a couple different things. So the damage actually increased, not a whole lot, but the damage did increase. What are the odds I hit this ant? Yeah, I knew it wasn't gonna happen. I'm gonna sit here and make a fool out of myself. Oh, there goes one. All right, so obviously the damage goes way up, right? So the damage is a bit higher. It looks like it got up by a little less than 100 extra damage that got added onto this guy. The weight is reduced. Now, the other thing that's cool about this is that the arrows that you craft for this guy, you can craft these barbed arrows, which do a bleeding damage, but you get more, you can stack more of those arrows on top of each other so they don't take up as much space, and then also their total weight drop down so they don't weigh as much, allowing you to carry a bit more of them. Not by a whole lot, but just by a little bit. And again, having the bleed damage on a barbed arrow, stuff sorts, it makes sense, really. Other than that, it pretty much works the same way. I haven't seen too much difference, but obviously we have that bleed effect on there. That is always nice to have. This is a, oh, it's also a 5% bleed on contact as well. Moving over to some of the boom booms. The boom booms just got more damage is pretty much what we're looking at, and I'm running out of targets to blow stuff up with, so I guess we're gonna move over here somewhere. Basically, you're looking at more damage, more blast radius on a line of these, and that's pretty much it. So with the cluster grenade, I'm trying to find a victim around here somewhere. Oh, there we go. There's somebody right there. Boom. Okay. Boom. All right, so the cluster, the initial boom is pretty good, but what you end up getting is that a more of an AoE effect. They're not quite as spread around, but you're getting more of a really good AoE, like a really good fitting. I feel like with the original cluster grenade, it was kind of haphazard. This one's pretty uniform. You pretty much know spot on where it's going to land. The damage of each explosion got increased, and then the arc of the fragmented grenades is reduced a tiny bit. So it tightens the circle up, but it makes it a bit easier. Our regular grenade, literally the only difference with the regular grenade is the damage got increased. And by increased, I mean increased a lot. I never really understood why the grenades didn't do very much damage. I mean, at the end of the day, they're grenades, and it almost made it pointless in some cases to use them. I like it. And as you can see, it's pretty effective. Tech grenade. Again, tech grenade got increased damage as well. Still does the same thing, flies after the target, sticks to it, but what you're looking at is a plus 300% weapon damage. And as you can see, again, pretty effective. Two of the melee weapons, we got the normal wooden spear, and you have an enhanced version of this. Basically, it's a sturdy spear. The chance of breaking it has been reduced significantly. It's really hard to break these guys, and the damage that it puts out has been increased whether you're using it by hand or whether you're throwing it. The damage is just better all around, which makes this thing a little bit easier. It did get a little annoying crafting 1,000 spears and trying to maintain all of that. It could be a little frustrating, especially early on. The sharpened pike is no different than normal pike with the exception of a slight damage increase. So when I say slight, you're looking at, I think it was like 50, it went to 90, which I guess, I mean, when you're looking at it, almost a double damage, it's probably not that slight. But I think a lot of times with these melee weapons, we didn't get a whole lot of damage with them, and we quickly went to using some other guns or even some of the bigger tech equipment later on down the road. The bullwhip durability basically got removed on this guy, so you're not going to lose it. It still works like a bullwhip. It doesn't use quite as much stamina when you're using it as well, so which is kind of nice. Now, obviously, I have some admin codes on here to kind of go through this to make it a little bit easier, but it's still going to work like a normal whip. It's just you're not going to get any of the the durability breakdowns on it, which is kind of nice. But a nice little cool thing. I think maybe these things are probably used in PvP, obviously a bit more, but I don't know. I found myself not using a lot of this stuff in PvE because there was either a dino or another weapon or a blueprint for something better. But anyhow, so more no durability thing on it. The weight got actually reduced a little bit, but you do need to be a higher level to craft it, which I think makes sense. Element soup is going to be something that you're going to be able to craft in your inventory, and what this does is it transfers element into element soup, and that element soup is actually, you're able to transfer that between servers, and it has a cooldown, and then it'll turn itself back into regular element again, allowing you to transfer element from server to server if your servers are set up that way, or if you're allowed to do that sort of thing. This way you can transfer element back and forth between your different servers if you choose to do it. Pretty sweet deal. I think this one is an hour. Yeah, I think it lasts an hour, and then it reverts back to regular element. Going over some of the generic gear, let me drop some random stuff out of inventory because this is getting a little, I went a little crazy with that whip. Anyway, Let's start with, let's take a look at the gas mask. So the gas mask works just like it normally did before, but the durability got increased and the armor rating actually got increased as well. The weight went down a little bit. So they're going to last longer, give you a little bit more armor, and they don't weigh quite as much. The enhanced miner's helmet actually gets a bit more weather resistant. The repair cost actually got reduced as well. The passive durability for using it actually gone left as well. So unless it actually takes damage, you're not going to lose any durability on these guys. Enhanced night vision goggles, passive durability again is gone. So the only way to get durability to go down on these guys is actually to start to take damage with it. The armor is increased to match that of something like the desert goggles, and the overlay changed to like a tech version, which I'm kind of curious about. So we're going to check this out. Oh, yeah. I dig that. Yeah. The tech helmet pretty much works the same way. You just don't get a lot of it. The vision seems to be a bit more streamlined, making things a little bit more easier. The active durability again got taken off of this, and you no longer suffer the increased strain when you're underwater. So pretty much just a much friendlier version, an easier maintained version of the tech helmet. The gunner's shades is pretty cool. Let me get this gun out of the way so you can actually see what's going on. So it doesn't, normally this used to just be a cosmetic thing, but what this does is give you armor, cold resistance, a little bit of heat resistance, and then buffs like a 30 plus weather resistance, reduces the reduces your recoil by 50%. So this is the one I actually didn't get a chance to mess around with, and I'm really curious about this now that I have this on. Oh gosh, all right, yeah, yep, okay. That's how you get a laser out of an assault rifle. That's insane. I like that. Let's get back to the tech rifle. Tech rifles definitely bounce around a bit. Oh yeah, that's much easier to control. Wow, okay. Yeah, glasses are pretty awesome. Can't get mad about that. Last but not least is this crystalline king blade. Now the king blade is something that you would normally admin spawn. It's not something you would normally be able to spawn. So this is for like rewards if your admin wants to give it out, or if he just wants to be able to pass those things around the server. So essentially this kind of works like a sword, but it gets more damage. It gets a faster attack rate, a bigger radius, consumes less stamina while you're using it. Basically just end all be all. I feel like we need to go test this out, right? Let's get out of K mode. This sounds horrible, Gallimimus, but you're gonna have to come here. Come here. Come here. Oh God. That's insane. It's running around like electric. I don't see any effects going on, but it's like electrocuted right now. It's horrible. Anywho, that's about it. That sword's pretty gnarly, though. I kind of like the idea that that's like not in the game, like you have to get an admin to do it. All in all, I know some of this might have seemed a little overhanded, but honestly, I don't think it is. I think this is just tweaking the weapons a little bit more. I believe the idea behind this, and I don't like speaking for other people, but I think the idea behind this was to make a lot of the guns and the handheld weapons explosives a bit more viable, so that you could kind of lean on these things a little bit more when you're out and about versus having to rely on some dinos sometimes. I think this is going to make things like cave exploration a lot better. I also think this is going to mean that a lot of these firearms, at least especially like the sniper rifle, early on you didn't use this one too often because you had to spend more time repairing it than you actually did using it. And when you change things just a little bit, they still work, they still make sense, they're not OP. I like it. Hats off to the mod creator for this one. Anyway, guys, that's the Lancar mod. I will have a link to the Steam Workshop page in the description of the video, so you guys can check that out whenever you'd like. And as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you all in the next one.